Hey Taurians, thank you for being here, for liking and subscribing. Welcome lunatics. How is the new moon in Sagittarius treating you, Taurus? I think a lot of us are taking it slow around this time. I did see the Eight of Wands there in reverse. Also coming out of the new moon energy as we move away from it. I think Taurus will still be dealing with a lot of Taurians will still be dealing with a need for forgiveness for someone. Maybe yourselves, some of you. It's different. Or just accepting that you know something was not meant to come together. Two opposites that you thought were meant to come together just aren't. For a lot of you, it's just that they're not meant to come together so quickly. We're talking about an integration of different parts of yourself, and they just, that may be the slow movement too. It's just not happening, lightning fast. Yeah, there's sort of this, and for others, it was a partnership that's just not meant to come together. But for some of you, yeah, this is either two parts of yourself integrating or you just adapting, really, is how I think it feels for a lot of us. Just adapting. We've gone through a transformation, a lengthy one, and then a surge of a faster one or faster ones recently as we were approaching this new moon. Currently, this finds you feeling like there's someone's taking too much energy from you, and or you're giving too much energy to someone. 66 may be particularly significant for you at this time, Taurians. The Six of Swords and then the Six of Pentacles. The Six of Swords is representing where you've been coming from, heading toward the new moon. It suggests that you are currently in a calmer mental, probably also emotional state than you have been throughout the first part of the month. And I always note here that he is expanding his own mind, broadening his own mind, right, in order to move away from this chaos we see behind him down here, right, toward this more peaceful picture, right? So you're certainly in a calmer mental and emotional state. That transformation really hasn't been easy, Taurus. It's, for a lot of us, it's just sort of back to back, transition after transition, or transformation after transformation, and for some, each one has been painful to some extent in some area, and so it has maybe just felt like that attempt to adapt over and over and over without really ever looking up and realizing, what it is making of you. And some of you have been staying in solitude because of that. You've been, withdrawing a lot to go through those things. And so here, here in the time following this new moon, you have the Hermit card in reverse. So some of us are ready to be seen again, right? Coming out of that self-reflection. A few are ready to break the solitude a little bit, but most of us, most of us, we're going to continue to avoid people for a while, I think. Avoid at least sharing certain parts of this continued work in front of other people, right? We're still going to need a significant time alone. I say this because we have currently the Six of Pentacles reversed. We already feel like we're giving a little bit too much energy to someone or something. And like someone, or like someone is taking too much from us. And some of us may be having trouble actually accepting part of this, in this work we're doing alone, the transformation that's happened, what has happened, what we've had to shed in that transformation. Some of us are learning to love this new version of ourselves. Or again, just adapting. And it's really, when I say, I think for most, what I mean is, being okay with what is no longer part of us, with what the difference is, with whatever the change is for a lot of us. And we have the Eight of Swords on the bottom of the deck. So we want to be careful about careful about any sort of victim mentality energy in our life, whether that's, ourselves or someone else around us. We don't want to encourage that attitude in anyone in our life who's like sort of trying to guilt us into doing anything for them. 88 may also be particularly significant for you this month, Taurians. So we've moved on to this calmer emotional, and certainly a calmer mental state. Moved away from any arguments we were having, any chaotic energy, anybody or anything, any environment even maybe that was causing us undue stress, overwhelming us. For some, it was, downright just disputes and fights with verbal arguments with someone. And yet we're still giving too much energy, allowing too much energy to be taken from us, from someone. We're giving too much to someone still. Maybe a manipulative energy, possibly Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio, but doesn't necessarily have to be. Someone who's insecure, someone who embodies that victim mentality we were already talking about, because this could be someone who's, downright depressed, this can be described as disturbed. That is at its most extreme, right? But they can be, lying to themselves. This can be somebody who is lying to you because they're lying to themselves, sort of thing. So that could be who you're giving too much to currently. Maybe just in thought, right? So this could be the person, the energy that we have shed. Again, maybe have Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer in their chart, and this is someone we're leaving behind, but just like in thought, we may be giving them too much energy still. Or this person's really still around, bending your ear, calling, texting, right? I imagine, you know, that would have for a lot of us been the energy that was the chaos and the fights and the arguments too. If instead of a water sign or as well as a white water sign, we're actually talking about a fire sign for you. If you're expecting to hear from them, I don't think a message is coming in like soon after the new moon with the page in reverse here. And you know, I don't think we mind, like we're like I said, most of us wanting to avoid anyway. We're not finished with this hermit period yet. We're needing that time alone still. I'd certainly guess that you know, it's not, at the same time, it's not time to send a message to a fire sign. It can also just be, you know, if we're not talking about anyone in particular, or with a fire here, you know, if you're waiting on a message from whomever was part of that hectic, chaotic, that chaos for you. Maybe someone temperamental, or just someone you had temperamental exchanges with, right? It's you know, what I was going to say is I wouldn't expect a message from them either. You know, I just don't think it's happening yet or time to send them one. And also what I see here, and because, you know, you're still feeling the effects of Mercury retrograde for Mercury retrograde for a couple of weeks, right? The shadow period thereafter. Yeah, and then you have the Eight of Swords in reverse, so possibly 888 being particularly significant. Oh no, we have the Eight of Pentacles as well, so you have 4 eights here. This is actually coming from the past. These are your advice cards. These other 3 here. So, you know, I think what it's saying for a lot of Taurians is that what is taking you to a calmer mental and emotional state of being, or, you know, what is helping calm things down is just focusing on your work. Focusing on your work. So, you know, that could be what some of you are giving too much to. If you have water in your own chart, maybe, or even if you don't, you're not maybe giving enough time to, you're putting so much work into some of us could be putting so much time into our work that we're not allowing enough time to investigate our emotions. How do we feel about this transformation that's taken place? About whatever that we've had to lose in these transitions. Maybe in this very transition to a you know, calmer state. And you know, it's that to me, with the Six of Swords being the place that we're coming from, approaching the new moon, really says that this transition, this transformation is in itself, you know, that is taking us to a calmer state. It's ultimately for our peace mentally and emotionally. But I do think that most of us continue to need some time alone, certainly. And it's so that we don't fall into this victim mentality ourselves. There may be someone else around you that's making this energy be here. Making this energy be here, you know, telling you not to accept being guilted in any kind of way, to stay or anything like that, to continue to give too much energy that you may need for yourself, for healing at this time. But we also, you know, there's a danger here of possibly falling into it ourselves, you know, just sort of a vicious cycle. If we give too much of our own energy away, how long before, you know, we're the ones feeling trapped, you know, feeling like we just don't have enough and we need someone to blame. You know, it can be just giving too much of our energy away. And for some, it's as basic and simple as you should be doing more relaxing and resting during this new moon period, you know, going within and setting intentions and seeing what you want to see flourish by the full moon. and you're just continuing to work too hard, you're outputting too much energy, and that may be why you're going to continue to need to take some time to recharge and be alone for a while. Even if you sort of want to come out of your shell, you just may feel like you just don't have the energy. You may be pushing a little bit too hard, Taurus. That's something that we do. And also there's a message here that some of us are maybe blaming, or someone else in our lives close to us, or maybe blaming the activities, astrological activities, a little too much, instead of where we actually could choose to take responsibility. Now, that's not for all. That message isn't for every single one of us. I mean, some of us are just really aware of the astrological activities, but of course, we want to be aware of those things so that we can navigate them, right? We do still play our part and are responsible for the energy that we bring to any situation, and the choices that we have and make. So I will leave it at that, Taurus. I hope that it offered you some insight, something that you didn't have when you came to the reading. Thank you again just for being here, for liking and subscribing. I love to hear how the readings resonate. If they do, let me know. Thanks for your messages, comments, emails, shares. Special thank you for donating and purchasing. That information is down below in the description or on my channel. Email lunartickstarot@gmail.com. I am doing 2019 readings. And I love you, Taurus. Do make wise choices moving forward, and I'll post another tarot fix for you soon.